Projectile Dysfunction, the greatest podcast to ever hit the universe, is back.
It's back again. We're gone for a week, but we're back.
We're back. Like, we're constantly back. It's weird now. You know, episode 7.
Weird.
Time's flying by as normal.
And we've got another guest.
Today we're joined by another third guest of this series.
Hello.
This is
Do you
our
want
friend.
to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
My name's Buck.
It feels like we're actually on therapy.
Yeah, it does. My name's Buck.
Oh, you know, I'm addicted to drugs.
I've been an addict for about 7 years now. Now, my name's Buck,
Wow.
and I went to school with these two lovely gentlemen.
Yeah.
Good old days and that.
Time.
Yeah.
So, Buck, how's your week been like?
Mate, my week's been alright.
Buck's had a very interesting week.
It's
Yeah, I've
been
heard about
slightly
this.
interesting.
Buck's been on about 4 dates.
No, I've only been on the. I've only
days.
been on the one. I've only been on the
Been
one.
on one date?
One on date.
I want to hear about this date.
Oh, it was pretty good. She was pretty cool though. She was. She's from Newham, and she.
No, I don't want to know about her, Buck.
No, I don't know.
What? Oh, you want to know about the specific date?
You want to? Yeah.
Where did you take her?
Well, I took her to Peckham because that was like equidistant between where we live, right? You know what I mean? And my mate was doing a gig with Sam Akpom. And
I thought
I don't know who you're pointing at now. You said that. He's pointing at the camera.
Yeah.
There he is. You're in your element here, innit, man?
Yeah. Fucking gotta sell some shit. You know what I mean? You gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. And
so you took her to a gig?
I took her to a gig that was on Peckham Rye Common because obviously you can't have it in, you know, like fitness spaces inside and all that.
Yeah.
And it was quite cool because we were able to sit back. I was kind of in my nice element. I saw like a few friends I could come up to and like say hi to and all that, you know. Then went to the pub.
It's quite intense, yeah, I think, actually.
What?
Going on your first date with a girl.
I love first dates.
And bringing it. No, but you brought her to introduce her to.
No,
like,
I didn't
loads of your
introduce her to my friends. I just kind of was like waving them, and it was like, and they kind of knew that I was bringing a date, and they weren't gonna be there. Like, if I'm like, I wouldn't bring it to like her, like to the red light, you know, like the Red Line or something like that, like the pub with you lot.
Because we just
Because
rinsed
you rinse me, be like, oh, bucks and like, you know, you wouldn't do that. That's like, you know, third or fourth date.
I don't know how people have the courage to go on dates, mate.
What do you mean?
I've never ever.
You've never been on a date.
Never been.
Another
on a date.
friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, who like had the same problem. He came to me. Let's just say he's a serial monogamous, right? And
He's a serial monogamous.
Like he just keeps having to say, he keeps getting into relationships again and again and again.
Do I know him?
Yeah, you know him. Yeah, we went to school with him basically.
Was he really tall?
Yes, he is. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's not in that class of tallness, if you know what I mean. He's like the third. He has stature.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Spanish.
Oh. Yeah.
He's a Spanish
fella. And I remember he
really
came to
stopped
me.
liking him recently.
Yeah. Okay, he came up to go over to mine, and he was, you know, he's bricking it, and he was there like, oh man, I'm going on a hinge date. You know, what do I do? Like, how, you know, Buck, you've been on these dates before, like kind of first dates and that. I was like, mate, you've been in like 3 different relationships. And he was kind of saying, he's like, yeah, you know, but like, I'll just meet them at the party and then just chill and then you hang out a little bit.
And then you fuck them.
And then you fuck them and then you become the girlfriend.
What
you know
scares
I
you
mean?
about dates, though?
Nothing scares me. I've just never needed to go on a date.
Oh, here we go. Fuck
No,
yeah.
but
Normally, like, it's couple
you
takes
know.
it straight round my
Well, thing
Netflix.
I've done is,
Well, it's true,
you know.
mate. Listen, if a girl is interested, she will just come over and fuck.
That's not true.
That's not
mate.
true. That's not true, actually.
That's not true.
And that's also not really like getting to know someone. Do you know what I mean? That's
Well,
just-
you get to know them
In
you
your
know,
bed.
the
In your bed, in your
Actually,
bed.
you know, this podcast was originally going to be called Pillow Talk.
Was it actually?
Well, that was
yeah,
one of
Was,
our.
was it actually?
I forgot about that when we went through the names.
Yeah. Well, it
What
stopped.
Zayn Malik was going to come in and
we
like
more
text
just
you
thought
or
it
something
sounded
like
a
that?
bit weird.
Weird, yeah.
Just me and Evan.
A bit seedy.
Yeah,
just talking about sex all
to
the
make it
time.
even worse, the first podcast we ever recorded, Evan was lying on my bed recording it.
Yeah, so it looked kind of creepy.
It was
didn't
dark.
Yeah,
It was very
dark.
homoerotic.
Ooh.
But yeah, I just can't do dates. I don't get
Why?
the point. I'd rather them come over and just watch TV.
What do you
But
live?
then there's
What
no-
do you do
yeah,
with
but
live
then-
at the start?
Just went over and just shagged.
No
They
fair.
like Mario
Thing is,
Kart.
that was
Yeah, but
that's
like,
uni though, isn't it?
do you
Uni's
put
definitely
in?
only
Do you
money.
put in a lot of time with like pillow talk? Do you know what I mean? Where afterwards, like, are you there like, so tell me your favorite color and all that? Like, is
Yeah,
that when you
yeah,
engage, like,
yeah,
getting
yeah.
to know them?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The classic
your
is when
favourite colour?
the classic.
Well, I
is
don't
when,
know, like the bullshit questions you ask.
What do you go to after that? Red. Red's a nice colour.
Red's
yeah.
Red's a nice colour.
Okay, that
So
conversation.
like, where did you grow up? Like, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? Like, all them bullshit.
There's actually a good
questions.
tip.
Did
If
we do
anyone
that?
wants a good pillow talk tip, yeah.
What?
If you're in their room at uni and they've got photos up, ask about, just be like, who's in that photo?
You heard it here first, guys.
Get some chat for half an hour, but class.
But
Fucking
now,
hell.
when you go to girls' home, they don't have loads of pictures.
Well, I don't.
That's such a uni thing.
Yeah. Well,
I actually did
haven't
that.
needed
I
to go
did
on a
that in
did.
first year.
I think
tragically.
first.
Oh, that's a
yeah.
lovely
I
photo.
had a nice
Who's
collage
that
or
girl?
something.
That girl's really pretty in that photo. Make them a bit jealous.
What you said
Ooh,
that? That's
did you actually say
that's
that?
so manipulative.
This guy,
Oh, come on.
fucking
Dan's
hell.
quite an
It's
evil
called Love
man.
Games, bro.
We're all a little bit evil, aren't we, Mark? You know, Evan.
So it was a good date, Bob.
Did you just call me?
Yeah, I was about to call you like, and then I was like, you're not him.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually went on a date last Thursday as well.
Tell me about that. So the boys
Well,
are getting in. Wait,
yeah.
how did the date end? Do you mind me asking? Was that
Pretty
personal?
well. You know.
Was there any loving kind of physical act?
You know, I've been conditioned to be a gentleman, so I don't really
No
want to.
kissing and telling. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but like, you know, let's just say I'm probably gonna see her later this week. So. You know.
Whoa!
Yeah. For like a second date.
I don't kiss
for
and
a
tell, but
second
let's just
date.
say I fucked up.
Like, I'm
I don't
seeing
kiss
her-
and tell, but it happened.
No.
Well,
really-
I'm very happy for you, Bob.
Well, thank you very much.
Now,
Thank you
Evan, I
very
want to
much.
hear about yours.
I think Evan's gonna be less romantic than mine.
What do you mean? Dan, you know I like romance. Right?
Evan's one of the most romantic people I know.
Yes.
What is the most romantic thing you've done? Do you think?
But Evan, could you talk a bit more?
What's the most
into
romantic thing I've done?
We'll see. Yeah, drawing a blank here, aren't you?
that is a hard question.
That's
to
a
ask
hard
boy.
question. Something I don't really want to answer.
Fair enough. How was the
Oh,
date?
come on,
No,
so-
how was the date? If he wants to, was answer it. How was
No,
the
because I
date?
don't even. I probably haven't done anything that romantic. Written a card.
Wow.
Wow.
Made a card,
Made a card.
Made a card.
You made a card.
Made a card,
I'll
maybe.
take. Yeah.
You
That's,
physically made it.
I
Physically
physically
made-
made
Yeah,
a card,
that's
cut
quite
out
romantic.
pictures.
That's nice.
Got my sister to help me with it.
yeah. Have you ever made a
right.
playlist for a girl, Dan?
Yeah, I used to make like mixtapes.
Did you?
Yeah, it's cringe as
Ooh.
fuck.
My older brother, I remember when we were. He might be coming on the pod soon, actually. But he like, because obviously back in the day, he didn't have thing. He would like make CDs when he was like
Yeah.
15.
I used to make
To like
CDs
send it.
for, like,
Were you saying? Who did you make? You made CDs for?
for my girlfriend when I was 16.
Oh.
No way!
I think so. I think I'm 90.
Was it a lot of moose blood?
Yes. Yeah, it was. It was just emo music.
It was just emo music. Yeah.
I listened to these songs. When
Was
I
it a lot of
think
like
you.
is it American baseball or American football? I can't remember.
Yeah,
what the,
yeah.
The
It's
math
quite-
rock one.
I don't
right?
know why you know every song on it. That's why
Because I remember at that time you were listening to a lot of that music, and now I realise why.
I was in my feels. I was in my emotions.
You were in your feels, man.
So
yeah.
Evan, tell me about your date.
Basically, quite a standard little Hinge one.
Okay,
Yeah.
how long were you talking on Hinge before the date happened?
It's
So I've never
funny,
used
yeah.
Hinge. I've
It's
never
funny
been on Hinge.
because normally on Hinge you have a little chat, but with this girl, her thing was like said some comment about like drinking wine. I made some comment, and then she was like, "Well, you need to find out." So I was like, "Oh, cool, let's go on a date then." Like
Yeah.
second sentence I said to her, and then she was like, "Cool," and then we just spoke to each other like one text a day for like a week, and then we just went on a date. So I knew nothing about this girl when I met her.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I literally knew nothing. So then it was like all calm, let's go on a date. And then on the day I was like, oh, it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know anything about
Yeah.
this girl, but I just knew she lived quite near me. So I was like,
Where does she live? Oh, well, okay, that doesn't.
She lives like in the vicinity, like a few roads away.
All right.
Oh,
Whoa,
really?
All
So I
right.
was there like, oh,
So
that's easy.
yeah, convenience really kind of pushed you
Convenient.
there.
So then we went and had quite a few drinks at the pub.
Which pub? Actually, you don't need to say. I don't know why
Yeah,
I'm
we
asking
went,
yeah,
personal
went to a
yeah,
questions.
nice pub, had a little chat. She actually said that she was like, oh, why did you ask? She was like, oh, she's like said I didn't make anything awkward. But then she was like, oh, it feels like you go on loads of dates because you ask so many questions. Like,
Oh,
but then
you
but,
always
no,
do
but I
it.
don't. I don't go on that many dates.
That's just naturally something.
So
you
I think
do.
I just
That's
do
naturally-
because
yeah.
like I don't want it. I think I've got this thing in me.
Well,
I
it's
don't want it
because
to be
you're a
awkward.
podcast host.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be. I hate the idea of like going somewhere. I hate awkward silence. Like it literally, it's one of those things where like
and it's like makes you
I'll just
panic.
Yeah.
It's, even in school, you know, when a teacher would ask something
And no one put
at
their hand
uni, I
up.
was so bad at it. When a teacher would ask something, everyone went quiet. Even though I didn't know that, I just splurged something out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's part of me which like dies inside when it's quiet.
Yeah.
Well, loads of people can just look down and then they're fine with the silence.
Yeah,
And
sometimes
there's
you
part
got
of
to be in your
me-
head like, just
There's
get
part
through
of me
this.
is like, just fuck, say something, and I'm like, blah, 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 and it just like fucks me.
So she said you had a good chat then, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah.
How did it end? How did it end?
It ended by saying goodbye, and then yeah, you know, sort of.
Oi.
Okay.
All right.
The
You know.
projectile dysfunction, mate. That's
You
the
gonna
place.
see her again?
Yeah.
I doubt that. Very much doubt
Yeah. No, I will.
Oh my.
No, I'm gonna see her again. What
All
do
right, I
you
hope you
mean?
do
I'm not
because
a fucking
maybe
bastard.
she could be good for you. Really steer you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Because your life's
potentially.
going off the rails at the moment, I think. We
Is
can
it?
agree.
You just went rehab last week.
Right. Anyway.
So obviously when we first met you, but So you came to school in year 9?
Year 9.
Year
yeah,
9,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Buck came in. I remember seeing him on the first day, and everyone was like, "Yeah, there's this like weird fat American guy who's like joined our school." Buck's lost a lot of weight now, so I
Yeah,
can
Buck's
say
a
this.
skinny fuck.
This
now.
isn't being mean, but
He's
like
skinnier
at the
than
time
me
when
and
Buck
Evan.
came, you would say
Oh, I was a chubby guy, man. I was a
Yeah.
chubby guy. Yeah.
Buck was fat.
yeah.
Okay, just not mincing my words about in a
No,
nice
no,
way.
Yeah,
no,
but that's fair enough.
But he was a
fair
lovable fat. It was lovable.
Oh,
fat,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And I remember you doing this fucking weird thing because at our school it's proper rugby orientated, like it's fucking like macho. Like everyone talked about rugby all the time, load of bollocks. But anyway,
Absolute bollocks.
and so Buck came in, yeah, on his first day and was like, "Yeah, man, well, yeah,
Can I give the context actually?
you give context."
Yeah, fuck you. Like, I feel, do you know that sketch with Catherine Tate where she's like, yeah, I could do that. I could do that. It's that aspect where, like, you come to a new school and you realise that the number one thing that's driving that school is rugby. You're going to blag a little bit. Like, and I played, like, a little bit of rugby at my, like, older school.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, well, if this is how I integrate myself, I've really got to go for it. But as soon as I got there, I was like, well, no, I'm really over in my fucking
No, but then
yeah.
Get on the pitch.
I
Then.
was there like, whoa, I need to get, and like, I was quite surprised that they believed me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was quite surprised.
But
that they
you
believed me.
had a big body.
I did have a big body.
You
I
had
did
a
a big.
Cadillac.
And
I was
oh,
like a prop. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like them ones there.
Me and
like,
you actually we used to be in the scrum together.
Yeah, we did actually. You know what I mean?
My first
Shows his
socialisation
weight.
with Buck was on the way to a rugby game.
It was. Dan kept on changing songs every minute and like a third or something
We
like
were
that.
sharing headphones.
We
Man.
were sharing headphones, and he was like, "Oh, I really like the song." He's like, "Yeah, we've got to change it. Get so bored real quickly." You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm such.
But anyway, back to the story. So, but when you said you overestimated yourself, so Buck came in, and obviously everyone spoke about rugby. This is year 9, so that's all anyone had to do anyway. Because no one went out or anything. Buck basically came in, and not like when he says, "Oh, I went first rugby." He told them that he was the 18 rugby captain for his whole school.
I was the vice captain. I was.
Oh
the
yeah,
vice,
he said
I
he
was
like
the vice
so he
captain.
didn't fully. He said he was vice captain for the.
Come on, man! You got to like make
it.
it plausible.
Yeah, but I
with
feel
the-
like you
lie.
went from like
I never knew.
you
this.
could have just gone a tiny percent in,
Yeah.
but instead you went round on the first day.
You were like,
and,
I am the best rugby
and he
player.
told him to like an 18 rugby player. He was like.
Yeah.
And he was like, went on, was like, oh yeah, I'm best in my school. I'm straight in. So he went straight, and the training the next day, they brought Buck in, and he was training with the A team just because word of mouth had got round that they've got this like amazing
What the
new
fuck?
rugby player joining the school.
It's like that. You remember like Ali
go on
Dyer,
in, scholarship.
and, like Graham Souness and that. It's like literally like that. Everybody knows that story. You know what I
I don't
mean?
know.
I don't know.
Alright,
Anyway,
fair
moving
enough.
on. I don't
Yeah.
tell the story. But anyway, so then, and I was in the 18 at this point, I think.
Yeah.
And Buck came along to the training. And I took one look at Buck, and I
look
just
at the
knew.
fuck.
I took one look at Buck, and I was like, "You've never played rugby before in your life."
I did play rugby. I did play
Oh
rugby. a
fuck,
bit.
mate! You,
But you
Don't-
came in.
you
You
don't
came
have
in
to
with
lie
shorts. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know the
yeah.
kid who just comes in with like the worst thing on PE. His shorts, which were like mini shorts,
Yeah.
like his whole thighs were out, like school socks because he didn't have the right socks
Oh,
on.
mate.
And then he was just
I
wearing.
was new. I didn't have any like the shit that you had to pick up.
And
you
then
know
he
what
was
I
just
mean?
wearing like, yeah, but you told Evan you played rugby.
Yeah.
So then he was just wearing trainers
Fuck, mate.
and like a just rugby shirt that was just too small for him.
I do respect it though, you know.
No, I respect the bottle, but I just remember thinking this guy's a fucking idiot. I was like, what the fuck? Is this come
Talking
from?
of lies, I think after about 2 weeks of do you remember? Was it Ask FM?
Yeah.
On Ask FM, Buck had just joined the school. I didn't know him. I'd never posted on Ask FM.
I didn't
before.
find this out until like 2 years later.
And I just wrote on Ask FM, by the way, Buck is actually a 32-year-old sexual predator who the school have to take in for like legal reasons.
Well, you wrote down his Ask FM.
I wrote down
No,
Ask FM,
no.
Buck
I
Jody
don't even-
Minster Smith, the new kid at the school, is actually a 40-year-old paedophile. And people believe me.
You're such a
yeah,
bully,
because
mate.
And I was just like, fuck it.
I think at that age we're all looking for attention, though. Do you know what I mean?
What,
Well, it was anonymous.
you were looking for the attention of being called a 30.
No. We're all looking. No, we're looking for attention in
actually got
terms
a
of
story.
like, kind of like putting it out there, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna bully someone.
I've actually got a
online, You know what I
story.
mean? To get laughs and to get like, you know. And I think it relates back to me being there, like, oh yeah, I want to get into like rugby and all that.
When we were like 12, no, we were 13, right? So Alex, who was on episode 1 this season, he phoned me up when I was like had a long drive home from Wales one night, and I answered the phone. I'm like, hello. He was like, Dan, I found it. I was like, what? The way to make us popular. And I was like,
No, but the thing is, you forget at that age.
yeah.
At that age, being popular is
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
thing, and
It's
you look
so-
at
yeah.
the kids who are popular, and it's like, oh, they're so cool. And when you get older, you realise it's bullshit.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
But like when you're that age, it does play on your mind. It is actually a big thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like to him, what do you mean? He was like, look on Facebook, mate. Look on Facebook. Look what I've done. So I go on my like dad's desktop computer, log into Facebook. It says, you've been invited to a group called Daniel Arowesti is Strange. So I was like, right, what have you done here? And I'd also been invited to a Facebook group saying, Alex Possession is also strange. And I was like, Alex, I don't understand what you've done. They've got no likes. What are you doing? And he was like, oh, actually, it is a bad idea. And deleted his. And I was like, mate, can you delete mine? And then he was like, oh, I left the group. So he's left the group, but he was the only admin. So if you Google Daniel Arowesti now, one of the top results is Daniel Arowesti is strange, the Facebook group. It's fucking annoying. And I've messaged Facebook like 10 times, like, can you delete this fucking page?
Was it
and
that
it
bad?
still comes
Wait,
up.
what is it? Let me type it in.
It's called Daniel Arowesti is strange.
Actually, I might join this.
Daniel Arowesti is strange.
Is there no admin then? So can I not join it?
Maybe it's gone. No.
Oh, Dan just made up that story.
Why is Panic at the Disco in your church? It's
Because my sister's a Guardian journalist.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little fucking bullshit story there.
One thing we actually missed out on before I forget about it is the cameraman James just went to on holiday to a different part of England.
Yes.
And he walked into a pub, and who was in there?
Oh, David Beckham having a pint with bloody Gordon Ramsay.
The
Come
bloody
on!
boys!
That's
Oh,
iconic.
James, do you think you could get them on the pod?
No, I've actually.
I know where he lives.
Ooh.
Oh, where does he live? Let's let this out
Wait,
now.
Gordon. What?
I know where his house in Cornwall is.
Where?
Oh, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Oh, we should do a
let's
YouTube
do it.
video where we just try and break in. Not break in, but like knock on his door. Be like, can we come in, Gordon?
Imagine if you should let us in.
Would you rather meet Gordon Ramsay or like David Beckham?
Oh, I've already met Beckham actually.
I'd rather meet
big
Gordon.
shot.
Go
Evan.
damn! Yeah, I actually met him at the Princess Diana concert in about 2009 or something.
Fucking
hell,
mate.
man.
You went to the Princess Diana concert.
Yeah, nice seats as well. It was so. I actually got this joke story. Yeah, so at that time I went round with an autograph book. It was before like they had proper like cameras on phones.
Yeah.
And I went to get an autograph. I can't remember who it was. But it was really someone really famous, yeah. And as I gave him the autograph book, he signed it. And then this guy next to him, yeah, just ripped it out of his hand and signed it. I looked at this guy, I don't know who the fuck he was, and signed it. And he was obviously showing off to the other guy. When I was reading the autograph book, that guy who ripped off the book was Simon Cowell. And it was Simon Cowell before X Factor, and he obviously was showing off to, I can't remember who the guy was, but it was someone bare famous. It was obviously showing off to this guy, but he literally.
What?
So I didn't even look at Simon Cowell because I didn't know who the fuck
But
he
he
was.
took the autograph and did
So I
his
took it
signature.
off. I went up to this guy. I was like, "Oh, please can I have an autograph? Please can I have an autograph?" When I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8, and he signed my autograph book, and then Simon Cowell, when I went to take it back, just ripped out the guy's hand and wrote his own autograph on it, and then was like, "There you go, mate." And I looked at him and was like, "Why the fuck?"
Bro, Simon Cowell's a clout chaser,
Yeah, but that just
man.
I think that says a lot about Simon Cowell
it does, obviously.
as his personality. But
Simon Cowell's a cheeky bastard.
How much clout does he have nowadays, though, in the music
Bro, he's
world?
clouted up. Simon Cowell's always
Is he?
clout.
Is
Yeah.
X Factor still going?
he's still got a record label.
I know, but he works for Sony.
Yeah, actually, let's not talk about it.
Okay,
Let's not
yeah,
talk about
sorry,
that.
yeah.
No, you've got something written down here that is a fantastic story. That
I think that's-
involves
but I
Buck,
think-
but I think Buck should really tell that one.
Wait,
Which
is that the
specific
one
story?
involving?
The father.
Oh,
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
want to tell that one, Buck?
I don't know if we should tell that story, but okay, if you really want to do
Wait,
it,
don't say any names.
obviously not, but like
Not any names.
any
You
name.
can say my name.
Well, it does involve Dan, but you know, it was Halloween, and I think
Set the scene, set
yeah,
the
it was Halloween. I think we must have been about like 15, 16. And we went round to our friend's house, and
You're still our friend. You're still a good
yeah,
friend of
absolutely.
ours.
Yeah, she's still a very good friend of ours. And at that time, you know, everybody's a bit young. Everyone's trying to, you know, experimenting a little bit. But I believe Dan and this girl had a little bit of a, you know, thing going on at the moment, which they were kind of keeping a little bit secret because, you know, it's a little bit embarrassing, I guess, at that time. And I was none the wiser about this situation. We all sat down to watch a horror movie, Insidious, because it's Halloween, obviously. And I'm sitting next to Dan on the edge of the sofa. And our friend comes up and sits right on Dan's lap, and I think nothing of it.
No,
you know?
she sits on your lap.
No, she sits on your lap first, mate. She
Okay.
sits on your lap and like think nothing of it. It's like, you know, whatever. And then throughout the process of the film, I noticed that Dan's hand is sort of sliding down a little bit
So
under the
you're- so
covers.
you're sat
I'm on the
directly-
edge of the sofa.
Sorry.
Dan's like right here next to me, right? You know what I mean? Onto my left, and you know the girl's on top, not like that, just sitting on her lap, right? But Dan like was kind of putting his hand further and further into like I think they had a blanket over themselves to kind of like hide it. But damn it, like Dan was just fucking like finger banging her for most of the film, and I couldn't fucking believe it. I was in this like.
And the other thing was, which
Well, the highlight of the
Oh, the highlight of the story is because like it keeps going on, and I'm sort of like second guessing, like, is this really happening? Like, you know what I mean? And you're kind of making eye contact and being there, like, don't say a fucking word, don't say a word, you know. And I'm texting friends in the room, being there, like, I think Dan's fingering your friend.
The thing is, I remember this because I was sitting on the other side, and the thing is that next to me, because I'm sitting on the left side of the room, and I can tell from the other side of the room something weird is going on.
Yeah.
Because SNS is something weird. But I'm sat next to her father. Her father is in this room. There's about 8 of us watching this room.
And he's none the wiser.
Firstly, she sat on Dan's lap, and then obviously this stuff is going on.
But there's a highlight. So basically, okay. So she was sounding up. There was like 8. There was been a crushed sofa, like 6 people.
You were
on
just a
one sofa.
horny bastard.
And just and then the dad came in and sat down and watched the film with us. But I was already in there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like,
my
if I
God.
take my hand out, it's more obvious. But then the one bit that makes me cringe is that I couldn't. I was wearing this exact.
Oh no!
I couldn't. My watch kept catching on the knickers.
Oh.
So halfway through the film, I had to take my hand out, undo the watch like this, and I just threw it there and just went straight back on. And I looked back, and her dad's just staring at me like.
The dad kept looking over us.
I think he kind of knew something was up, but didn't really want. He just wanted to kind of think like ignorance is bliss at that point. You know what I mean? I think like that's sort of like teenagers being horny
Well,
bastards.
what was I doing? I wouldn't have done that.
No, because what I don't appreciate is like I remember afterwards being there like, guys, fucking Dan was fingering our friend, like, you know what I mean? This is like kind of, it was really weird. We're watching it serious, and you came up and you were like, Buck, you're a fucking bullshit artist. Like, you're a liar.
Did I actually do
You
that?
literally were there like, Buck, you're a liar. 2 years later, he was there like, yeah, you were right. I was doing that.
I'm
like,
sorry.
You fucking cunt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But it was just a very tense atmosphere.
I think it was a very tense atmosphere. I think we were also like 15, you know what I mean? So we're pretty, green about that.
It was pretty epic.
Yeah, like you kind of, and also, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like the kind of, like the kind of clandestine nature of like, oh, are people going to see us?
What?
The words that
The
you
clandestine
use, it's just
nature.
absolutely mental.
You know what?
mate.
Wait, what do you mean?
What's clandestine mean?
Clandestine means secretive. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it was very
yeah.
secretive.
You know,
Ah,
But yeah,
Jesus.
her
Come
dad
through
was
a
just
thesaurus
watching me
sometimes,
finger.
guys. You know
Just
what I
quality,
mean?
actually.
Scintillating stuff,
Absolute
scintillating
quality.
stuff. So when did you think we all became friends then?
I think we all became friends
I don't
in.
remember when I actually first became friends with you.
I think we first became friends like during a time where I think what we really bonded over was the fact that we weren't really too keen on rugby.
But I feel like there was a culture at our school
Definitely, yeah.
which was like, it's not just about the rugby though. It's about like our school was like till I die sort of thing.
Yeah.
I remember this time so clearly on I was telling Buck earlier when I was fielding on a boundary with cricket, and obviously the ball in cricket is like rock hard, and I was fielding and the ball was coming to me quite fast but on the floor, and it came up, and just before it came to me it bobbled and was coming straight for my head,
Yeah.
and I ducked out the way of the ball and the ball went for 4, but I was there like, whoa,
I don't want to get knocked down.
like fair. And then the teacher came up and started screaming at me, saying like, you've got to take it for the school, whatever I mean, you've got to battle for it. And it was like that sort of mentality of the school where it's like, you got to die for it. Like this is, it's like how,
you're letting the school down.
yeah, it's like the school was your football team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when they like we got to like there was this big rugby tournament and they lost in like the semis. It was like but it's like no, it was a big deal for these people, and like people were like well sad about it. But I remember like everyone putting up on their BBM status like Benny's till I die. Like it was a real thing in our school about like life or death in it. And I sort of think we as friendship group bonded over like seeing that as bullshit.
No,
Basically.
pathetic, like real pathetic, unfortunately. And it starts from the top. It starts from the top down.
Pathetic, unfortunately.
Like fucking bullshit. It starts from the top
but it's not-
down as well, and that comes into a broader context of I think throughout most of my time I didn't really respect the school I went to because
Well, the thing is that I feel that culture of like till I die, like the school above everything, actually sort of ended up the school getting in serious amounts of trouble
Yeah.
with this thing.
Yeah. Front page of the Daily
Leading
Mail, bro.
to a
Yeah.
Panorama episode.
A Panorama episode, having like BBC vans outside,
BBC Vans outside.
Channel 4.
Oh my! I remember when this was happening. Yeah, so our school got in a lot of trouble because of paedophiles, basically, and it was a big thing. Panorama front page. The government did a whole report on it. Never shut down the school, even though it was like hundreds of cases. But I remember
Since the 40s as well.
yeah, but I remember that ITV News were doing a report just outside our school.
Yeah, outside the gates.
Yeah.
No, outside by
back-
the Abbey,
Yeah, but
behind the thing.
yeah.
And I was with two of my friends, yeah, and we were walking behind it, and we're like, fuck it, should we do it, So we just jumped up behind, like, pedo!
Fuck off.
But I think it was recorded, because we were hoping it was live, because we like hid, we were like, right, we're just going to fucking do it. And jump, pedo!
Oh, that
my
would have been
God.
fucking
But
class.
that was when you were young, and it was like,
Yeah.
it would have been so sick. I would have probably got kicked out of school.
Yes.
Do you remember like they
cares?
gave that assembly, and it was like, don't talk to the press.
Yeah, don't talk to the press.
Don't talk to the press, or you're gonna get, and they like threatened us.
Yeah,
You talk to the
yeah.
press, you'll get in serious trouble and stuff.
It was also very creepy because it had it was also like, you know, we shall overcome this.
yeah, they sort
you know
of
what
were
I mean?
trying to defend it. When
They
like,
did. They tried to defend it. It's like, yeah, this is bad, but we as a school shall stay together. And I remember leaving like very hot, and like people were clapping and everything. And I just remember looking around, being like, "What the fuck did I just listen to?" It was like being in Nuremberg or something like that in
It
the
was
30s.
fucked
It was
up.
fucked up.
It's like you just compare
yeah.
our school to the Nazis.
Yeah, baseball.
It was just.
It's done. It's done.
But then it was like, it wasn't even that. And then it was like 2 years later, the fucking.
Oh well.
The guy who was doing the speeches like, we'll be fine.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
a
Oh,
fucking
Jesus
nonsense.
This
Christ.
story is actually fucked. Yeah, so our teacher at this point, when I first joined the school in year 79, was my RE teacher, and he was this guy who was like ridiculously posh, right? But the thing is, this all turned out to be fake. And I remember even in year 7, I had this joke with my mates, which the cameraman was actually in our class, but I always used to call him a pedo.
Yeah.
Because he was just a really
got
weird
big.
guy.
he had like
vibes,
he was
bro.
jowly. He had like fucking like buttons and. You
But
know.
he was like, everyone quite liked him. He had like, people did quite like him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't.
I always thought he was a fucking twat.
But people did generally quite like it. I remember, didn't he do, the funny thing is, and he left the school and he went and worked for
Wasn't it Ealing?
he went and worked for the party which is now in power in the country.
Yeah.
So take that what you want about that party. But yeah, moving on.
The pedo party.
You know about
Yeah.
it.
And he came back and he got brought back as deputy headmaster of the school. Right. And I remember him coming back and I'd left the school for this one, but he did those speeches where he was like
He was basically.
anti-drugs.
He was anti-drugs, yeah. He did
was
huge
like-
speeches about anti-drugs.
It's homophobic.
Very
Like,
homophobic.
old school Catholic views.
Oh yeah, like, you know, anti-abortion, all that, you know. Just rambling on about that the whole time as well.
And he was like, and he worked for the party which is in power, high up.
Tories.
Yeah, why can't you say the fucking Tories, mate?
Just cracks me up, innit? And so then moving on, what was I saying?
Talk about
You were saying, so he came back to the school.
Came back to the
and
school.
He, did
Came back to
speech, he
school.
used to do speeches about like
Well,
anti-drugs,
And then this thing
anti-fucking
came
gay.
out, and the police had done a raid for him. And at this time, he was living on the school grounds. Yeah.
But I remember we'd just gone to uni at this point. It was in Freshers Week, and I get a text, and people would be like, "Have you seen this news article?" And
He got caught basically with. First, he got caught with loads of drugs, right?
it was like meth.
Meth, MD,
coke.
MD, which is
Yeah.
mental because he did loads of speeches about being anti-drugs, and then he got caught with over 600 indecent images of kids and sending them about.
No, he
Well,
made.
no,
them.
no,
He made them, yeah.
and then he would also but he would also have like these chemsex parties where people
Yeah.
would turn up, do meth, do coke, do mandy,
And
do
just wank over
and
child
just wank
porn.
over child porn, and also have like
Probably
know,
kids
no, like having like orgies as well,
Yeah.
out of it. And this is also like he lived a double life because this is a guy who every Sunday he would have Sunday lunch with our headmaster. He would go around to the family's house. He would be there at the at the lunch table and welcomed open arms. Come previous Saturday evening, he was doing God knows what.
So
So
He was on meth. Fucking
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
And then he went to jail. And the fuck thing is, when he came out of jail, I remember when he went to thing. I remember the school said that he just walked in a couple of times and was like walked in normal, and then people had to be like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Like, you have to leave." And shit like that. Like, he just walked in after he got done.
Yeah.
They were like, "You can't come in."
Well, the headmaster bailed him out.
Whoa!
The headmaster bailed him out. He had no idea. He thought it was he thought he completely was invested in this idea that he's an innocent man. There's no way he could have done that. And throughout the court process, he was, he was, it kind of destroyed it. I think the headmaster was going to retire that year anyway. But I think he retired early because of it. Because he invested so much into like, he's innocent and all that.
I'm
fucking bullshit.
Bullshit.
Oh,
Did you not know that?
And then he killed himself, the little cunt.
Yeah, and he killed himself in prison.
But the other thing is...
And then the fuck thing about that is that after that, our school wrote an email out after being caught with his pictures. Obviously, like, he's teaching kids at school, was on the school property, abused his power completely. The school sent out an email being like, it's
with our deepest apologies.
With our deepest things that he died. If any of the kids feel sorry about it, then please speak to them, or we're here to help.
Yeah.
It's like, are you fucking joking?
No.
You stupid fuckers.
To be honest, that school should be taken out brick by brick, in my opinion. Yeah, it should.
It's a haven.
But then we all met here and we had a laugh there.
But that's why we come back to that sense that we bonded over the fact that we had no real investment in the there compared to like how other
bullshit
people were.
Rugby and
bullshit rugby,
religion where they actually were fucking kids.
Yeah, and there was and everyone, there was huge amounts of like nonsense going on for fucking ages. You know? Yeah. And
this episode sounds so dark.
A little bit.
It's important.
Quite bitter.
So I kind of am bitter about my experience with school, but at the same time, like I wasn't.
I think most people are quite bitter about it.
To be fair, I had the sickest time at school. I got nonced once by the sports teacher.
Can we stop making every single episode about you being nonced recently? You even messaged me this morning, like, mate.
Well, no, it's because I was listening to the school
trips
trips episode last time, and I realised there's 3 episodes where I talk about being unconsensually sexually assaulted.
Yeah, and then you tried to bring it up again.
No, we're talking about it.
We're talking about it
up again.
But I think to end on a really, really bright, lovely note, Buck has a really interesting joke that honestly it makes all the families laugh. Or like when he tells it to the parents, they love it. So Buck, I think you should take it away and end this episode with a beautiful, beautiful poem.
Wow, I think you really oversold it here, but here we go. This is enough for the squeamish, so if you want to skip now, that'd be a good idea. So basically, there's a man. He's walking along a cliffside, Low of Cove, Dorset area, right? And as he's walking along...
Also, quick, I might add some little nature noises behind this.
Can you just let him tell the fucking joke? Stop ruining it.
This fucking cunt. Anyway, this guy walking on the cliffside, he's just enjoying himself, and he sees this little boy standing over the edge. And he sees the boy's crying, so he rushes over. He's like, little boy, what's wrong? And the boy says, my mum, she fell off the cliff. I think she's dead. What about your father? He tried to save her. He fell over too. I think they're both dead. What do I do? And of course, the man doesn't know really what to do. And so they both sit down and, he puts his arm around him. But then the little boy notices that the man's undoing his belt. And the boy says, what are you doing? And the man turns to him and says, son, today's just not your day.
And that's it.
And that was episode 7. Thanks, Buck, for being on the pod.
Please subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Safe.